Thank you very much. I have the easiest part today because I don't have to do much talking. But please indulge me for one moment, and let's recognize the law enforcement officers that we have in the room today. They're on the front lines of everything we're trying to do today, and they certainly deserve our respect for the work that they put in. And in my line of work, unfortunately, we cover too many car accidents. What we're unable to cover are the lives that have been saved by efforts like this. So give yourselves all a round of applause for that. At this time, I would like to bring up some elected officials who are going to sign a pledge, which is the culmination of this event. And I'll start with Clark County Commission Chairwoman Marilyn Kirkpatrick. Take it away. Should we bring our video? You want to bring? Okay, all right. Henderson Mayor Deborah March. Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman. And North Las Vegas Mayor John Lee. And they would each like to make some remarks. They've promised to keep it very short. So
better start with somebody who's prepared.
Okay, we'll go.
Well, most of you know me that I like short remarks, as this really is about all of you coming together, because you're a big part of our community. Whether you're out there enforcing the law, whether you're making the roadways, or you're a constituent, you really are on the front line. And I can't say it enough, from the bottom of my heart, thanks to Commissioner Knapp for starting this conversation. As our community has grown, we have to go back out. We have to re-educate. And what I'll tell you, for me, I'm starting with the babies, because it's those 3- and 4-year-olds today that we got to change the way they think. We got to change how to make it easier for them. And I am fully committed to working with the mayors, and this is about collaboration. It doesn't matter where you live, but you travel throughout the entire valley, and we have a responsibility to work together to make life better for not only folks today, but our future generations for the longer term. And for me, I am all about 10-foot sidewalks. I probably make my own public works crazy. I'm all about being able to be out, but the reality is we built this town traveling across the valley in what we call a vehicle. And so now, how do you go back? You make things just a little bit better. So I just want to thank our staff at Clark County for being part of this, all of you for what you do as citizens, enforcement, and charting our course. So this is exciting. We plan on working on many issues together, and this is the first of many. So with that, if you could all give Commissioner Knapp a round of applause, because he's done yeoman's work on this.
Okay, I'm going to be much briefer than that. She lies. I just want you to know, no, we are. I have to tell you, I mean, it's totally about working all of us together on the same page at the same time and moving our community forward. The most important thing for any businessman, for any family, first and foremost, always is safety. And that's what we direct ourselves to before anything else. None of you would be living here if it weren't a place that's safe for you and for your family. Beyond, the next step, of course, is health and education. There's so many issues, but number one, absolutely the priority of us all. And so for those of you who are in law enforcement, or for those of you who see something, say something, which is all of us, that's our responsibility. How can we participate? And whether it happens to be traffic, thank you, Commissioner Knapp. We knew you would continue on in life beyond traveling to Washington, where it's so crazy. Better place to be here. It is such a great time to be alive. There's so much more to accomplish, and we have to build for future generations. And in the city of Las Vegas, we've widened and streetscaped. It brings people into our downtown community, which helps create safety. It also, in the nighttime when it's dark and there are none of us around, is a home for homeless. And they are allowed to be on the streets if pedestrians can be by. So as we prove ourselves well in one area, we always create another problem. And I'm a big one that if you expect something to occur, you have to inspect it and stay on it. You just don't do the first step towards it. So this entire issue, and it's like our fireworks today, that if you light it, we write it. Thank you, our chair from the commission, Kirkpatrick. That was her mantra last year. It's this year. We have all our media on top of it, and it's all part of the same program: safety, public safety, safety, safety. So thank you for inviting me, and I must tell you, I do love our mayors of our municipalities. They are just wonderful. We're part of a team, thanks to this very tall, wonderful gentleman over on my left who took my spot. So you're out of here.
I love you. Carolyn is our great leader of mayors in this community, and we appreciate her leadership. I know traffic deaths are preventable, especially in North Las Vegas. And I feel personally responsible when someone dies in North Las Vegas. Have we done everything we should do? There's 3 E's in North Las Vegas: education, enforcement, and engineering. Do the intersections work? Is everything going like it should? And we look at those. We have a great police department that takes it serious about having these kind of issues. And I know I sat with a few of them in the back there. These are my great friends that work on this. But I just wanted to give you this. I'm sad to say that last year we had 19 traffic-related fatalities in North Las Vegas. Of these, 4 were riding a motorcycle, 9 were pedestrians. And to this date, we've had 5 fatalities already. 1 of these was riding a motorcycle, 2 were pedestrians, and 1 was riding a bicycle. And this is a tragedy. I ride a bicycle. I tell you, it's scary out there in those roads. And I look forward to educating the community through Michael Knapp's leadership, working together on this, signing pledges, and putting this out in front of everybody. We're committed in North Las Vegas to the safety of our residents, but on that, regionally doing things that everyone can learn the same techniques that will bring safety to every community. Thank you once again. I appreciate you, and for the County Commission for taking a lead on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, they said everything already, so I'll just throw my notes away. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Commissioner. And it's such a pleasure for me to be here with my peers, Chairman Kirkpatrick and the mayors from the various cities. And, you know, we work together closely in the RTC to find solutions for transportation in our community. And certainly public safety and traffic safety are an important priority for all of us. In Henderson in particular, 65% of our budget in the city of Henderson actually is targeted towards public safety, because we recognize how important this is for our citizens in our community. And as we go out into the community and we design our roadways, we make sure that we're looking at the complete streets design so that our roadways are compatible for all of our users, whether it's the cyclists or the pedestrians or the buses or the cars that are using our roadways, that we want to make sure that our roadways are safe for all that use them. And it's important that we all come together collaboratively, and it's a thrill for me to see each and every one of you here in this room being a part of the conversations and being a part of the movement to change our practices and looking at how we can build better roadways and how we can address traffic issues and move people more efficiently. And certainly we have a lot of the answers, but we don't have all of the answers, and we welcome your input to be a part of that solution as well. And it's an honor for me to be here today to be able to sign this agreement together, that we're all committed to making sure that traffic safety is a #1 priority in our community. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
And with that, I'll go ahead and read this pledge, which is back here. We cannot have a summit meeting of this magnitude without getting to sign something. It says, I will support, I meaning all of our mayors and commission chair, will support the projects that promote safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all by supporting projects in Southern Nevada that will make it safer for people walking, using transit, cycling, and driving, allocating sufficient funding to implement street improvements that increase safety and prioritize residents who are most vulnerable, encouraging positive and education-based police enforcement efforts and interactions with community residents, and urging my municipality to clearly communicate its enforcement efforts, encouraging my jurisdiction to develop public safety initiatives that reflect the character and values of its constituents, encouraging deep community engagement around street safety through methods that are inclusive, accessible, and relevant. I take this pledge because I know that severe and deadly traffic crashes are preventable. I pledge to do what I can to make Southern Nevada streets safer, healthier, and more pleasant. And with that, we will do the official signing ceremony.
Excellent. May I?
Yes.
You're going to go.
Oh, okay.
There
Okay.
you go.
Carol.
Okay.
Stay there so she can get a picture.
It's good to see you.
My name. There you go. Nothing fancy on the pen.
Finally, I'd like to give Commissioner Naft an opportunity to say a few closing words.
Thank you so much, Steve. And one more time, thank you to our mayors and chairwoman for committing to this wonderful cause. Thank you, Mayor. And I'd like to just call up real briefly as we wrap up the day a personal friend of mine and a hero of mine in many of these rooms, Chief Andy Walsh, to give us some closing remarks from Metro.
Yeah, Mike and I go back to his days of traveling back and forth to Washington, D.C. while I was the captain of the Downtown Area Command, and I was really encouraged to find out that he was elected to the position that he's in. So we have an extreme debt of gratitude to him on behalf of the sheriff, the undersheriff, and my boss, Assistant Sheriff Zimmerman, who's also here. I'll close with this. I'll leave you all with this thought that, there's a term that we hear a lot of, and there's an idea and a concept that we talk about a lot in our profession. You've all heard it. It's called community policing. It's a term that we kind of roll out every time we have a problem. We say that's what's going to solve our issue. But I think we have to really talk about what does that mean. And then this is what that means. If you've never thought about what community policing means, it's not just an effort or an initiative that the police go out and take the lead on and go out into your neighborhoods, into your communities, and solve a problem. We all owe it to ourselves that this community is a safe place for all of us to live, raise our children, safe place for all of us to work, and a safe place for the people that visit it. This, though, right here is the true definition of community policing. It's the police department working in partnership, and Bill, if I get some of this wrong, I know you'll correct me, but it's the police department working in partnership with the stakeholders in the community to solve a problem. And folks, this is a problem, right? Year in, year out, day in, day out, it just seems like you can't turn around and turn on the news or open up a newspaper and read about a tragic death, a death that was preventable, a death that's avoidable. But the solutions don't just lie in the minds of the men and women who go out there and do the enforcement and do all the hard work that I get to brag about. The solutions are in the heads of everybody that spent time here this morning. So again, on behalf of everybody, I'm very grateful to Commissioner Naft, Commissioner Kirkpatrick, all of the mayors that came down here today to sign that pledge. But this is just step one, right? I believe today you talked about the past, you talked about the present. This is step one to the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Walsh. So again, I want to thank our host, UNLV. I want to thank all of our partners who participated, Tiffany Hesser and Karen Mulcahy from my office who helped organize this event. And I also want to pay special tribute and thank personally the families who've paid the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story. Your willingness to come forward, to speak out, and to share your story really is saving lives, and everyone in this room owes you a tribute and a debt, and thank you so much for that. As we wrap up, again, I want to remind everyone for CE credits, visit the table outside. And again, as the chief said, this is a conversation. This is a great day. This was educational and informative, but this is the beginning. We will continue to collaborate, to work together as multi-jurisdictional partners in Southern Nevada with the support of law enforcement and academics and everybody who is around the table today. So thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.